Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in on round 7 Monza of Pro Series. Today with me is Mivan, who I
Hello.
sadly didn't have time to put a picture in. I'm sorry about that, mate. But we are having, as it seems, full qualifying, a whole 16 drivers, I believe, and a lot of tension. If you remember yesterday, we had a bit of carnage, especially turn 1. Now new tier, some drivers from challenger tier reserving. It will be interesting. What do you think, Mivan?
Extremely interesting, especially because there was a lot of chaos all around yesterday. But I think it will be much cleaner this time round in the Pro Series. But yeah, we have to just hope for the best.
Indeed. As we are still loading in. And we have cloudy conditions. Look at that.
Rain.
Let's check in the weather what that does say. And just let me set up something real quick.
It has rained a couple of times now this season. I'm not sure how much times, but it has. So an incredible amount of or no.
So weather says we have cloudy conditions all the way in qualifying. So we will see.
Yep.
Come on. Thank you. And no one is coming out so far. Everyone's setting up their car, getting those tires in.
I do have to say, not a lot of people will probably come out, but I do see one of the Alpha Tauris.
It's a Haas.
It's a Haas. Oh, I thought it was an Alfa Romeo.
I believe it's Tixi or Casito. I suggest Tixi. Hell yeah, it's Tixi.
Yep. On intermediates, too.
On Inters?
Yep. Just to check if their setup is all good.
That is indeed true.
I do think, I think I did say it, I'm not sure, but I do think not a lot of people set multiple laps this session, as because we only have 16 drivers.
16 only?
Yep. So Q1 won't be that interesting, but Q2 and Q3 will sure be much more interesting.
That is indeed true. And while we are watching Tixi on his outlap, I'm gonna be leaving the session, probably because of connection issues. I might as well get the name right and hope it also shows correctly. There we go. I am using a third-party software to get those fancy things in as well. And sadly, I gotta rename a lot of people. But that happens.
Yep.
Let's jump into Jacek. He is on mediums. Really interesting.
Yep. James Taylor is also on Inters. So is Rocco. One of the Mercedes.
Okay.
Most people are just testing their setups right now. So Lars is on softs.
While we are, let's check all the stuff. We have... Are we having wet conditions and my game just doesn't show it?
I don't think so, because there are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers currently on the dry compound of tires.
That shows a fair point. The Red Bull leaving the space. And I just realized Bradley is not racing tonight. Interesting.
believe the Aston Martin is on a hot lap. Yes, he is. Into Ascari.
Yep, we are watching.
Great exit for him, and Rocco retires.
Rocco retires!
Oh, what happened to him?
And
Crashed.
that's the medium benchmark. Let's check who's closer. It's Lars. Normally the commentator, but today Racer.
Yep.
There are broken suspension parts.
Yeah,
And
from Rocco's car presumably, but there are a lot of people setting laps on Inters, so that could indicate issues maybe. Rickety setting a 123 on the Inters.
indeed, very much. So we have a Ferrari coming in next. It's Catastrophias with a 121 on the softs.
Surprisingly slower, 1 second slower than the Aston Martin.
And
Mediums.
James Taylor on the Inters, 122.9. So it's really either just testing the setup, as we have Lars 129. Keep in mind, he's a Challenger T1 driver.
Yep. Now Roy needs to complete a lap, I believe, and he will be guaranteed a position into Q2.
As we have the other S1
I'll-
coming in. And Casito coming out around the final corner. As he is finishing, sorry. 121.0 with mediums. And further back we have Phoenix coming in, also in intermediates. He sets a 123.2. Further behind him is not gonna be. I think I missed it. Someone's starting his hot lap now. Is it Thomas?
It's Roy.
It was
starting
Roy, okay.
Lap on Inters.
And we
set a
have...
lap, I believe he invalidated.
Oh, okay. As we have Thomas crossing the
set a-
line, 21.0 on the softs. Further back we see both Mercedes coming in.
I believe this is gonna be
And indeed coming in. Not for the lap, but the pits. Then we have Tixie now coming around the final corner. Let's check the weather again. It's still calling just cloudy conditions. And then there's the Ferrari of JTK. Indeed. Outlap. He is starting his outlap now, so let's join in and watch him. Also, with the new update, the special Ferrari livery is in, perfectly fitting with our calendar even, since it's a special for the Monza.
Yep, and I can confirm now, everyone's on Inters because they do not want to use a set of the dry compound of tires they have, so mediums and softs.
Really interesting, as we have JTK setting in a purple first on those Inters.
Amazing from him.
Very much indeed, keeping up with the soft runners.
Yep. Amazing amounts of traction, especially for the compound he's on.
And considering those tires must be overheating since it's not wet at all.
Yep.
As we have
Amazing
Perseguili
amount.
retiring in the pits.
I mean, nothing else to do.
Seems like it.
Don't-
Is it? Does he say, yeah, I will end it now? How come? Let me check what the server is saying.
Very strange as JTK comes across the line with a 23.5, puts him into P11.
23.5.
second to last on for the people that have set a time. So far, Mali is out, or is considered to be out of qualifying, and the rest go through. The 15 other drivers.
Okay, so JTK is probably on an in-lap. Catastro is on an outlap. I'm seriously confused what's going on. Like, the Discord, like they're writing about only inters, which is quite funny. But
Yep.
everyone is coming in. What is going on? Okay, we have Thomas D coming out on softs again. Are those new softs? Wait, can I just?
Yep, he is on new soft.
Very much indeed.
From what it's telling us.
Let me change that name while we're at it. It's the Williams 66. Or should I update it as Thomas D?
James Taylor also retiring in the pits. So has Rickety, Tigsy. Yeah, that's about it.
I am seriously confused about everything. Also, Mali is now finally coming out to set his lap time.
And he's gonna be on intermediates.
What is going on? The weather is still on dry.
I mean, they got nothing to I mean, they do got something to lose, but Rocco retired, so...
Nothing to lose, something to gain, I guess.
Exactly. So Thomas D starting his lap now, going through the chicane, relatively tight, tidily.
And I can confirm we are on full quali, and well, I don't know what to say. It's really confusing.
Yep, as I believe Thomas D is 3/10 up so far.
I sadly didn't see that, but we will see. One corner to go. He has nothing to lose, really, at the moment.
Making sure the car doesn't break like a suspension part is the main thing they need to focus on.
And 2 times up. He is P2 now, but it's quali 1. And I now understand why people did this. We are on full quali and only one person is getting kicked out from it.
Yep.
So they're all on the inters because it's not worth using the dries. Jumping into Gamma B. God damn it. Let me just
Gamma B starting his lap now, across the line. Very fast down the main straight, 350 kilometers an hour. Braking hard into turn 1, turn 2. Keeps it tight, gets back on the power.
as we have a Red Bull further back staying, and Gamma B having purple first, but being slightly on the grass, compromising his getaway.
extremely fast, but slightly lost the rear, looked like. Now, full throttle down the straight, DRS wide open to almost 350 kilometers an hour. And across the line, provisional pole,
123.
20.3, amazing lap.
So as Casito already said in the chat, which I didn't saw because I had something in front of it, as slightly stupid as I am, no one is doing a legit lap because Rocco retired. And considering only one driver gets kicked out, it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
And people are making a bit of fun. I mean, it's not the right thing to do, obviously. But...
The start line enters.
Yeah, like everyone said, it's just one guy getting kicked out from Q1. And Rocco decided, hey, I will be that one guy to save some time. And seems like people didn't catch that.
Yep. So Thomas D did think that it was sure quali.
Gonna be my man. I know it's only one guy getting kicked out from Q1 already said, but still, speeding in the pit lane is no good, mate.
I think he deserves a penalty for that, but I don't know.
Let's be real, everyone is retiring, he just wants to make it quicker. I think the FIA won't say anything.
Yeah, 100% they won't say anything.
Gonna be on top, bruh. I'm the GOAT. Get out of here. Gonna be being, as always, the funny guy. The class clown of the PowerF1 server.
So, if Gamma and Casito retire, we could go through now.
Yeah, we will see the real action then, because the real qualifying starts from there. As also, I cannot skip to other drivers now, can I? God damn it. Just gotta change a bit of the names. So, the second Williams next to Thomas is Phoenix.
So the head of FIA is watching. For Gamma.
I mean, the head of... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's...
And sadly, we'll probably be waiting the 40 or 30 seconds we have left.
Yep. And don't forget, I'm also FIAF Pro tier. I completely forgot that part, but whatever. Meanwhile, I will set up just some names that I still have to do. Being the Aston Martin. Is last year on the Aston Martin? Yes. Sweet. So then we have the other Has, that is not Tixie.
Alright, so Q1 is now finished.
Rocco is out.
Rocco is out. Gamma in the Alpine 20.3 was best time in P1. The Aston Martin on mediums 20.4 behind them. Thomas D right behind Aston Martin. Lars in P4, Casito in P5. Yeah.
And into Q2 we finally go. Now the real stuff starts. And let me just do something real quick. I need to close my door.
Situated in northern Italy, Monza has a proud history of racing. Along with the British GP, the Italian GP has been a part of the World Championship calendar every year.
Okay, back I am. In Q2 we are. Let's check the weather if something has changed. No. Very sweet. Maximum penalties for everyone. Oh boy.
Thankfully, we are not part of it.
Indeed.
Somebody is exiting the pits. For a lot of people exiting the pits.
But a lot of people are coming out now.
Yep.
Really a lot of people. Let's jump in with the Aston Martin, since he will be the first one.
Yep, on medium tires. First in line. Perfect for him. Clear track. Here.
He is on mediums. Interesting.
Yep.
What about the others? So we have Catastrophias being on the softs. And fighting? And the McLaren now coming in as well? Oh boy, that was some close things. But at least no one got any damage from that. That's the most important thing. We have both Haas behind each other.
Yep.
Most likely giving each other a slipstream along the way.
Yep, the Alpine now letting both the McLaren and the Ferrari pass. The Aston Martin is now coming and starting his lap.
He is on the mediums, everyone else seems to be on the softs. If he gets a respectable time and comes through to Q3, he saved 3 sets of soft.
Yeah. Rickety, I believe, is gonna be coming out on intermediates.
He is coming out on Inters.
Yep. Phoenix leave the pits on mediums, but he's retired.
Oh,
Yeah, he actually left the pits a long time ago, just retired.
we are coming out to the place where it happened, but the car already despawned.
Yeah, probably.
And Phoenix is writing oops.
Very unlucky for him, probably devastated. Aston Martin is coming up to the last corner, the Parabolica. Probably renamed, but no one knows it. New name. He comes to the line, the benchmark for everybody else at 20.081 on medium tires.
Next one is the Ferrari of Catastrophias.
Catastrophias is on soft, so very big chance of improving. Coming up to the line, 21.1.
Wow.
Right behind him is
Next
Gamma,
up, Gamma B.
20.1.
Behind him is coming in Tixie, I believe. No, Tixie and Validale, but Casito. Also on
Casito.
mediums. And
Roy,
Roy, 99.
19.9.
Also on mediums.
So far, the mediums are showing great pace. Lars also coming across the line.
27 on softs.
Yep.
That qualifying is interesting.
Very interesting.
Indeed. I believe Tixie is on a hot lap at the moment. Yes, he is on a hot lap.
And Gamab has retired. Gamab has retired.
Oh,
Drops down to 10 written. For me.
I am watching Tixie at the moment as he is flying through these corners with his softs. Really showing great pace at the moment. As I just realized the lap data is not even on.
Yep, purple sector 2 anyways.
He also had a purple sector 1, so probably on a pole incoming.
Most likely at this point, unless he messes up the final corner.
And he might even have slipstream from his teammate. Okay,
yes.
maybe not.
Okay, never mind, yeah.
And what?
I mean, across the line.
19-3!
Great lap from him. Amazing.
I believe that will be the benchmark for Q3 even, if I want to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. James Taylor, JTK, both in Mercedes actually. JTK in the Ferrari, and Rickety's coming on softs, but and the rest I just named are all out on track on their outlaps.
We are watching Roy now, who is still on his mediums, trying to improve now.
Roy, I believe, is down by 100.
Checking into the weather, it's still cloudy, but no rain expected.
That's good to hear. A bit less chaos. Hopefully, no chaos, but hopefully it's going to be very entertaining.
Very much indeed. I am hoping that as well.
Roy is really pushing right now.
I believe he is still on his old mediums. Yes, he is. And he is not improving, neither is he getting slower, so that shows consistency.
Indeed,
As he comes to the line of the pit entry.
Back into the pits. The mediums look like a really strong tire, especially for the race.
Indeed. Joining in with James Taylor,
coming up the DRS zone.
whose name is Mercedes 14. Let's change that real quick. There we go.
Second sector so far. He's looking great, but not purple.
His teammate is in front of him, giving him a slightest bit of slipstream. Great teamwork from those two.
Also on the lap. Hivadar retires. JTK retires. My goodness.
As we have Persigili, 19-3. Also, only 3
James
times.
Taylor, 19-3 as well. But what happened with those two ahead? I wonder. Rickety is also in the wall in Ascari. Lost his front wing.
Oh no!
And he might just be stuck, but
Luckily he's not.
Yeah, Jivodar and JTK both retiring. Both were presumably on their outlaps or their first laps. Very strange. Very.
Indeed, and we were just looking at the others. Now, we have 6.5 minutes left on the clock.
Molly is out on his outlap.
Molly.
So far, 4 drivers have retired, which means only one driver. If one driver retires, everybody can box. If one driver retires and doesn't have a good lap time, everybody can box and finish the qualifying.
It's a race between Marley, Thomas, and Rickety at the moment. Only those 3.
So Hivodar and JTK. Hivodar went to the outside a bit too late. JTK reacted. He was also on the outside and it collided. What a shame. What a shame for both of them. Both most likely had amazing pace.
As we see Catastrophias coming out, he is looking to improve his time, since he is still in danger of dropping out.
Indeed, and Molly is starting his hot lap now hits the DRS button, aims to go as fast as possible down the straight, foot planted, hard braking now, turning in while releasing the brakes. Make sure to keep it tidy, but he goes slightly wide.
Just perfectly on the little zone where you have maximum grip compared to the rest of the curbing.
Yep, and he's
Going into sector 2 now.
extremely tidy, making sure not to hit the curbs too aggressively, causing him to spin out. But still,
Absolutely being on the limit of the track and the car. Making sure he's
Exactly.
always on the white line before getting a penalty and a random tire being there. Coming into sector 3 now.
purple sector 2, from what it's telling me, great Ascari from him. As we see catastrophe in front of him.
Getting the slightest bit of slipstream out of there.
Yep,
As he
extremely
comes around the final
tidy.
corner
Extremely tidy.
and puts in
final corner.
1:19.8 P4.
Amazing lap from him.
Let's watch Catastrophias now. As Thomas D has rejoined and
Could potentially set a lap time here, but Catastrophe is not on a lap.
yeah, why?
Maybe he needs an extra lap of warming.
Maybe.
These drivers are slowly starting to retire in the pits. No need for them to go out as their 1, 2, 3.
As we have actually the full data from his side. 2% on each tire, but 0 laps driven.
Oh. Strange. As Thomas D and Rickety are still in the pits. Strange.
I believe Thomas is setting up Thomas is probably setting up his car as well as Rickety after waiting for the damage to be repaired.
True.
I believe Rickety will be going out the latest of the last seconds.
Yep, as Thomas has now put on softs in the pits. Could potentially go out soon.
While we are at it, let us tell you the current standings. Persegili is leading the championship by 10 points from Tixi, and Roy another 12 points behind. Behind them are JTK and Rocco, both equal on points, 23 points at the moment. And these are the top 5. Coming to the constructor standings, we have Mercedes P1 67 points, Alpine 53 points, and Haas 50 points behind the top 3 of the constructors. As we see Rickety on outlap, going a bit late on the cold tires and the brakes. Thomas also being on the outlap.
But Catastrophe is now on a push lap. So far not really pushing it to the limit, trying to be safe. Still driving really tidily, not on the limit. The Aston Martin of Isaac is on his outlap, so is Casito. Purple sector 2, I believe, for Catastrophe.
Slightly on the grass, shouldn't compromise his pace too much. But don't forget, Sector 2 and Purple might be a bug, since EA is unable to somehow fix that.
Yep, and
As he comes to the line, sets a 1:20.2, 1 second up. Almost. Impressive work.
Time, but will it be enough?
It is enough, even if Thomas D and Rickety put a lap quicker than him, he will still be in.
How about Lars and Casito?
Thank you for reminding me. True.
That's the danger point, I guess you could say.
Indeed. As we are on board with Thomas D, going very securely through turn 1 and 2, Rickety is still behind him.
Rickety's driving really tidily, so is Thomas. Slightly going wide there. can pack him.
Thomas really on the limit, just slightly sliding with the rear. And he did not invalidate that. The game didn't thought it's fine. Didn't thought it's too wide. I'm missing the words.
Yeah,
But I think you all understand what I mean.
of course you do.
So anyways,
Everybody does.
coming to the final corner, Thomas D. Being
Very
really tight
tightly
on the middle, yeah.
On the limit. Extremely
Coming to
fast.
the line sets a 1:27. That's enough for P8. Now jumping to Rickety, also coming around the final corner. Sets a 1:19.6. That's enough for P4.
And amazing from him, but danger. Not really a danger, but Lars, I don't think is improving by much.
On board with Casita right now as he comes around the final corner, going a bit wide there. And coming around the final corner, that's a 1:22 and improved by 8/10, P8. Now Lars, coming around the
D
final
is
corner.
out. Thomas D, Lars are both out, and I believe Gamma goes through.
And I see Lars being
Oh,
P11,
he's retired.
meaning Gamma B,
So,
Lars, Thomas
Gamma
D,
B,
Giovanna,
Gamma
and
B-
JTK, and one last person, Phoenix, are out.
I don't know if you mentioned Gamma B is also out. So, Tigzy, Persegli, I can't say their names by the way. James Taylor, Isaac, Rickety, Molly, Roy, Casito, and Catastrophe are all going through.
What
Well,
is
the
that?
first-
Roy on the mediums as the only one. He saved all 3 softs, I believe.
Great for
Yes.
him in Q3 and in the race.
Indeed, maybe he's going for soft, medium, soft.
He 100% could.
Like, soft medium is already possible as we check the weather again. Still no rain expected. And there we have it. Q3 now underway. 12 minutes on the clock. Who do you think will be on pole position tonight?
It's really hard for me to guess right now because their pace, they're really close.
It really is,
Um,
isn't it? As we see the Aston Martin coming out first now. We are on board with Jezek.
I feel like the person who goes on the limits while extracting the most will probably get pole, which is quite obvious. But I really don't know. Maybe Tixie, maybe Aston Martin. I can't pronounce his name, but maybe even James Taylor, maybe Catastrophe, maybe Persegli. I can't pronounce his name either. Maybe Casito. It's really random. Maybe even Roy. Roy has shown pace.
Roy
Before.
got into Q3 with mediums, don't forget that. Like, everyone is showing great pace at the moment. And Rickety with astonishing P4 just now. Maybe he can go even quicker.
Maybe.
As we see a train a bit further back and something between the second half of Casito and Rickety, I believe. Let me just check who is behind Isaac. It is... Oh, it wasn't. It was Casito, not Tixie. My bad with that one then. Anyways, joining in. Let's get the lap data on it. And around the final corner, taking a lot of space to get the highest speed. Let's go.
Extremely fast, trying to go the fastest he can possibly go.
Yes. Being
Pushing like
absolutely
crazy.
perfect on the brakes even. Casita right behind him having all the slipstream, which could make a huge difference. Don't forget, we are still in Monza. The dome of speed.
Yep, and it could also impact them during the corners, especially this tight chicane that he just managed to perfect.
On the absolute limit, on the
Amazing
absolute
turn.
perfection.
Beautiful driving as he opens the DRS once again. Incredible
Coming
amounts of
into
speed.
Sector 3.
As we also have, never mind. As he almost perfects Ascari, doing it beautifully, coming down to a parabolica.
Let's see Casito. Casito is actually quite a bit further back. Back to the Aston Martin where we go. He sets the benchmark for Q3 with a 1:19.4. We have seen quicker already. Casito 1:19.8. Who's the next one? The next one will be Roy, who is now also on the softs. Let's see what he got.
Roy has been showing his pace, so I do not doubt him. I feel like he can get provisional pole here as he takes the inside, trying to limit his time, and he goes on provisional pole. 19.4, Rickety 20.1. Not very
And then
fast.
there's Tixie.
Tixie 19.2. As we see the Red Bull of Mali coming around the final corner as well, coming up to that line. He gets P2 in 19.3.
Look how
As we
close the
also
gap is!
As we also have James Taylor just coming around the parabolica, coming up to the line on the inside as well. 18.9.
18.9! That is even
Amazing.
quicker than my time trial lap. What is going on with these guys? And
Trying to get triggered.
oh, and
They're
that's
embarrassing us.
outrun fuel for Isaac, but in the pit lane. As we have Casito right behind him, most likely coming in as well. Yes, he is. Let's check on Rickety. Is he pushing? Rickety
Might be
is
on the
pushing.
lap.
He is pushing.
Pushing very hard. Doesn't even have
But his
DRS.
yeah.
He's flashing.
And
5%.
he was lifting. He said, no, not enough RS to pull it. Let's just go into the pits, get those fresh, tasty new softs, and just smash the timing table.
Yep, and
I believe Marley
Fuel.
is also out of fuel, right? No, he is just being in 4th gear.
yep, as the Ferrari of Catastrophe goes out now, hasn't set a time, as the Mercedes of Perseguli. Can you please tell me try to pronounce it?
Persegili.
Perseguli.
Yes, he is on outlap, starting his hot lap
He's
now.
gonna start his hot lap. Yep. Coming around the final
Current
corner.
championship leader. What time is he gonna do?
Going to the outside to get the most amount of space, to gain the most amount of speed. As he comes up to turn 1 full speed, braking really hard.
Let's watch it in
Almost
cinematic mode.
Perfection. Perfection from him. That chicane, he did it almost perfectly. As he goes into turn 4, brakes really hard, obviously.
As tight as possible to the sausage curves, but not hitting them by the slightest of millimeters.
Yeah, really pushing it, and he's invalidated.
Oh no! He was on such a good lap.
Yeah, as
With that-
Catastrophe is also starting a lap.
Indeed. Let's see what he got, what ace he got under his sleeve. I think I said it completely wrong, but I'm German. Probably everyone knows that. Especially because of my accent. Should be pretty strong.
Extremely strong as he goes through the chicane. I feel like it's quite normalized how nice these drivers can turn in and perfect these corners around.
I know, right? It's actually impressive how smooth they do it.
Yeah.
As Catastrophe has set the purple first sector,
great from him. He does
Short shifting to get them all the power down.
pushing hard, but not to the limit certainly.
He
It
can
looks
go
like,
quicker, I believe. Let's see what the second sector says.
but he does
Purple?
need to. Purple middle sector too, but if I was him, I would be boxing because he doesn't have much time left. He only has 4 minutes on the clock, and he does need to set a final lap.
This might be even his final lap.
It could, as
He
Tixi
still has
and
time.
Roy are going out.
As Catastrophe is now crossing the line. P6.
19.6. He
Yeah.
was purple. Didn't expect that. But yeah, people are gonna start slowly coming out. But
As we have
I feel
Isaac,
like-
2 tenths up at the moment.
who's on a lap?
Isaac, the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Currently 2 tenths up. Mate, you got really quiet now. 3 tenths up. P2 119.1.
19-1.
Yes,
Great lap
and your
from him.
volume is back to normal.
Yeah.
So,
my bad.
next one is the half of Tixi. 3 tenths up at the moment. That's enough for a 118 time again. Is it good enough to beat James though? Coming in really hot into the last corner. Taking all the momentum. On the absolute inside. Coming into the 118.7.
2 tenths faster than James Taylor.
5
Amazing
tenths
from him.
up of his personal best so far.
Yeah, as per I forgot how to say.
Persegili.
Persegili is
Yes.
coming out of the pits, I believe.
Is he? Yes,
no,
he
he's
is.
not.
He
Who
is.
that? Yes?
Yeah, he's coming out right
Oh,
now.
Now he is.
Perfect timing. But
And-
Rickety is coming out again.
Rickety has came out. I kind of mistook Persegili.
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 Yes.
Persegili. I got a half right.
Not gonna lie, I don't even know if that's correct myself. But that's how I say it. And that's the most comfortable way. Anyways, let's check
Probably the only
into
way.
Rickety now.
Not on
My
a lap, just calm.
Yep, just warming up the tires, not using too much tire. As we can
Yep,
even see the tire degradation we have at the moment.
Is Casito? Is that Casito or Tiggsy going into the pits now?
It's
Does
Tixi,
he have
I
enough
believe.
time? He does not have enough time for another lap. So that's
These
out of the
are the
question for him.
last laps now. Isaac
Yep,
will
and
be set
Rickety
on 119.1.
yep. So Rickety will be the first one starting his lap.
That's
starting
why
the lap.
we are watching, and obviously we will do it in cinematic mode, because I really like him.
I mean, who doesn't?
He is one of the nicest people on the server. He is the owner as well. He is really taking care of it. And if there's a problem, he will listen to it. But if you don't let him talk, he can get angry.
For sure. I mean, a driver that's racing here, I believe, got knocked out in Q2, has past experience from that.
He is
not
currently the record holder of PowerF1 with the most, not constructors, but championships.
Oh,
Absolute beautifully coming around the chicane. Oh my lord. I believe that Martin was
Amazing
kind of
from him.
cutting the corners.
I think it's might be Isaac from.
He really wants to get the lap in, but cutting corners is not allowed, mate.
Might have to give him a penalty, but I believe the head of FIA is watching, so
I am
Make sure
part
to
of
note that
FIA too,
down.
so I can see stuff live.
oh, that's good. You can penalize them, but Rickety is coming into the final corner now, hard on the brakes, really pushing it.
Yes, he
Amazing
really wants that
exit.
front row. What will you do?
as he does a 19.3 P5
8 tenths up.
as
Isaac couldn't do a new
Isaac
lap.
does.
Okay, next one.
Yep,
Next one. Mali.
Mali.
3 tenths up at the moment. He might get into the front row with that pace. Let's see what he does.
He might
does a
not
1,
either too. But he does an
1:18.777.
18.777.
Lucky number now. Persegili. P4, 189. James Taylor coming around. What does he do?
Taylor has the opportunity to go on pole.
P2,
He doesn't. 18.763.
My lord!
As we see Casito doesn't improve.
And only
As
Roy
we
now.
have Roy behind him.
Roy, the last one to
Can
cross
he
the line.
improve? Can he
He
be on pole
is-
position? No, he can't.
It's
He
P6
is
for
not.
Roy.
He is not on pole position, which means. I forgot his name.
Tixie with an
Tixie.
amazing 118.7, but James O'Malley
It's on
also
pole
a
position.
118.7. We have 600 separating the top 3.
That is really incredible. Shows how brilliant these drivers are, especially Tigsy.
But
Incredible.
consider the constructors now. Persegili and James Taylor are doing what Mercedes did in the past years.
Incredible.
Winning stuff,
incredible
being
job.
always in the front. But the hairs of
Right.
Tixie also being like really strong, and with Casito just like sandwiching the top 9, they might do the impossible together. What will the race get
and
us?
there's only 2 constructor teams that are both of the cars are in Q3, and that's Haas and Mercedes. And so far, Mercedes look like a stronger team.
While we
As
at it,
because-
we have sunny conditions. Very lovely day.
Extremely lovely.
Okay, the weather did not update yet. My bad with that.
As I have to do something really quickly. Let's hope the race doesn't start.
All good, mate. I got you covered. And things are getting heated now, ladies and gentlemen. We have 600 separating the top 3 in qualifying. We have different strategies as option. We have soft medium, medium soft, medium hard, hard medium. Everything is in there. Maybe even a soft medium soft. Who knows? As we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the engines are going to the maximum. We have a great start from Tixie. And pretty good camera angle. Also Mali coming up into too wide with the Mercedes. Having the outside, a bit of touching. Phoenix getting a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Having an absolutely awful angle for that one. Tixie having a wonderful start, both Mercedes being in sandwiching the Red Bull at the moment, but Isaac is not far behind, leaving each other perfectly spaced and overtaking the Red Bull. Absolutely wonderful! Rickety also coming out in front in P6 now. What a great start from everyone and no big crashes so far.
Rickety doing an amazing job so far. Those Persegili.
As we are
Phoenix has
checking into
dropped
Mali
down
now.
too.
Mali's still behind the both Mercedes. Let's check what tires we have. I set the tires. We have mostly mediums. Very
Which is-
interesting.
Which is quite surprising, as because most people have expected maybe a soft to medium, soft to medium to soft.
As
or
we have
hard
a
to medium.
close-up between Casito and the Ferraris.
Casito and the Ferraris. Casito doing an amazing job, getting as close as possible.
As
The
he goes to
Ferraris
the
are
outside, he goes for the
working with
move,
each other.
not locking up, keeping it on the inside. Rocco getting a time penalty. Still next to Casito, to JTK, a bit of touching.
JTK doing an amazing job of keeping, giving him space and keeping it clean. So is
And
Casito.
defending.
And Casito is still on the attack. What could happen into the chicane, and Casito just can't make it through.
He said, "No man, that's too risky for me. I will wait for a better one," as we have JTK going a bit wide into the next turn. Still, both Ferraris are next to each other, just as the Mercedes, who are under pressure by Isaac, who overtook Mali. And I sadly did
Mali
not
is
got it,
really dropping
as we
down.
have the Red Bull.
So, Rocco overtaking the Red Bull of Hibodar,
As we have,
well as
they
James
are holding
Taylor
up. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, and there's a collision.
that's a big one.
Casito's
Oh,
out. Casito's out.
that's not good.
Very
And
good
that's
car.
also a safety car. Oh no, what happened?
Ooh. So Roy, I believe, does have damage. I'm not quite sure.
Rocco
Yeah, we
also
need a
has
close-up.
damage.
So
That's a big one.
Roy is going for a wing change. Rocco, I believe, was also going for a wing change. Casito is out. I'm not sure who's at fault there.
It
Maybe a
really
racing
was.
incident.
I don't think so. The Haas was going for the move, but he just lost the traction as he was locking up.
Yeah, might even be Casito's fault, but at this point, Rocco might be feeling extremely down, as I believe he does have rear wing damage as well, which we can't fix under the regulations, which is really unfortunate, as they're slowly but surely, the top 5, or I should say the top 12, are slowly but surely catching the safety car, coming up to the safety car. Not yet, still have a bit of a distance, but yeah.
And Phoenix, who pitted early, is on the hards. Do you think he will just go for it and finish the race with that?
He might, but it'll be a really big stretch, as because the hard tires barely last on this track, especially with overheating issues when you're in the dirty air. But if he manages to stay clean and overtake a few people or have a gap in front of him, I think he could pull it off. As Tixie is coming behind the safety car now, top 12 are behind the safety car. Roy is coming up. He's on the start finish straight, while Rocco is on the non-DRS back straight after Ascari going into the final corner. Phoenix is in Ascari right now. A lot of action currently. Unfortunate that some drivers have permanent damage, and one of them is out of the race as well.
Casito got really unlucky. Like, the same thing happened in our race as well. In the front, I was even part of it. One lost the rear, then like it's still in the middle of the corner, directly in the apex. You cannot see as you're coming in the crash or anything. Once you see it, it's already too late.
Yeah, for real. Me, in the race we had before, I was a bit lucky, but I managed to avoid it, but it was really close. So I do understand the drivers behind that got collected in the incident, and I do understand that they're probably fuming right now, especially Roy, because he probably had a great chance at getting a top 5 finish today.
Everything can still happen. On the
Yeah,
restart
of
on
course.
lap 4 from our race, I thought it's over for me. I somehow got back up again. Everything
you
is
overtook
possible.
Me, yeah, you overtook me, which I'm still a bit salty about, but
Yeah, sorry mate.
I'll ignore
Like that last lap thing.
last lap, last corner too.
Yeah. Just
So
everything we got, we put it in. Anyways, it's not about our race, it's about their race right now. So we are only waiting for Phoenix right now to come back to the pack. And maybe this lap the safety car comes in again.
If not this lap, next lap, but it's really likely that it's this. I mean, yeah, this lap, because Phoenix is catching, but it could well be next lap because Phoenix isn't catching up that quickly, and they could 100% restart.
Phoenix could go
without
tactical
catching up.
with purposely doing it an extra lap to warm up these fresh hearts. Are those fresh
Yeah.
though? Let me check. Yes, they are. 2 laps.
Yeah, so everybody is on the tires they started with, except for Roy, Rocco, and Phoenix.
Yes, and I will just reposition some stuff, as you might see, to make it fit with the map. Because I completely forgot to activate the map when I was testing. So let's see, are we in this lap?
So safety car is in this lap. Tixi
Let's
needs
go
to
back to
up
the
the pack now. And there's almost a collision. Loads of drivers panicking.
as we
But
are
still clean.
weaving toward the tires, having a not good camera angle for a restart. As he goes now.
He does go.
He did
So
not
far,
call the people
really
sleeping.
clean.
As we have
James
Rickety.
Taylor really
now
close behind.
Rickety is lifting to avoid anything that could happen, sticking on the inside. As we have
Mali
the
is going for a move.
beautiful angle between the Red Bull and Aston Martin as Rickety got hit by Gamma B there. Let's watch from JTK's POV as we have Marley and the Aston Martin still fighting. Touching, not spinning anyone for the sake of everyone, because that chicane can be deadly with a crash. JTK, Rickety and Gamma B. A battle for P7 at the moment.
Oh,
And Gamma B
exactly.
losing the rear a bit. Rickety seeing the chance. As he is closing in and closing in and closing in. Not going for a move.
Just a bit too far, but he's gonna want to perfect the Ascari, and he loses the rear.
Saves
Managed to
it.
gain, but we see a piece of a front wing, presumably Alpha Ferrari, and yes, it is. It's the wing of JTK. Thomas D managed to collect the scraps. So does Jivodar. P7, P8, Gamma B managed to really not be under pressure now.
As we have Marley and
Far
Isaac,
further
so much
away.
going on. Is Marley going for a move again? He looks up, but he does not go for a move. A bit of touching again, but no damage. No compromises.
Yup, as
Looking a bit further back to
JTK is
Rickety.
going for a move on Rickety, but just can't pull it through. But Rocco is piling under pressure, trying to find a gap to make an overtake, but just a bit too far back.
As we have a fight for P8, I believe, between 4 drivers. It's insane stuff going.
P7, not even P8. It's incredible.
Oh yeah, my bad. It's even about P7. Mate, that's a lot going on.
There's a lot happening currently.
And
Rickety overtaking Hivodard in the Red Bull.
the Red Bull
Oh,
backing out because that chicane, you don't want to take it with another driver next to you.
Yeah,
Looking for the
sure.
outside. Rickety. Going for the outside now. And
Thomas D defending for his life here. Not even his life, but DRS is now enabled.
Rickety
as
going
we
on the inside
enter
now.
lap
The
8.
switchback.
Amazing switchback, but here comes Jivodar.
Oh my god. JTK.
Can he manage to pull off
Rickety
a
defending the
double
inside.
overtake?
Anything can
No, he
happen here.
can't.
But everyone is keeping it perfectly clean. JTK looking down the inside, and he does make a move.
As Hivodar is dropping back. He's
And
dropping back. Rocco is
Coming out of
overtaking
nowhere.
him too.
And JTK is still having front wing damage. There's so much going on.
JTK performing a
And,
masterclass.
and Thomas
especially that
having lost a rear
a
bit.
moment.
Having a moment, exactly. Dropping
Yeah, and
down
here
as
here
Rocco
comes
is now
Rocco, right
looking
hand
for
side.
for his chance.
incredible racing we have going on here.
And they are keeping it as clean as possible. It's so beautiful to watch.
Surprisingly.
Anyways, let's shortly jump back to the front as we have both Mercedes coming in really hard to Tixi now. Only 6 tenths behind.
They do have the DRS now on this next
Indeed.
straight. So anything can happen here. I believe Tixi almost lost the rear, losing a lot of time. James Taylor is on the attack, trying to just gain, going for the outside and completing the move. As
And Tixi's
Tixi
not
goes back.
done, but he did compromise his racing line, which gives Persegili an opportunity now. And there's Martin not too far behind.
As Rocco is also in P8 while Rickety is in P7. Pivodar and Thomas Diaz dropped down to P11. Incredible midfield and front battle here. Amazing racing.
As we are still having a fight for P7, but Gamma B is closing into Mali now. As he's coming to the chicane, not going for the move. Just sticking with him. Having a bit of a slightly offline. But on the main straight, he most likely will get him. As Mali does not have DRS. But he has ARS to defend. More than
Yeah,
Gamma B does.
But not worth
DRS
using
open.
all of your battery. DRS open for Gamma B, goes to the
Mali
inside.
is not
can get
doing
the-
anything. He knows it's not worth it. He just waits for the next DRS. And as Gamma B is having an offline again, and further back, Catastrophias and Lars having a little bit of a fight. Let's shortly check into that one. As Lars is touching the side of Catastrophias. Back to the McLarens we go. I know for a fact those two teammates are really good with each other. Everything they do is completely tactical. So whatever happens now, it will be tactical.
I can confirm that slowly but surely they are pulling a gap on JTK in the Ferrari. He does have ring damage. So far 1/10 gain, but Mali completes an overtake ahead on
And goes
Gamma.
wide. And jumps on the
And
sausage
Mali
curve.
Mali has to cut the corner and drops back right behind Gamma B.
Having a moment, a big one. But he's coming back.
Yep.
He's not giving up that place now. He wants the top 5.
He sure does. As we come onto the main straight now,
As we have
Pixie overtakes James Taylor in the lead as well. As Mali slowly gaining on Gamma B, just a bit too far back. As Hivodar is attacking on the Ferrari of GTK, action happening everywhere on track.
I cannot keep up.
We can't keep up ever. As Hivodar is in P9,
As we have Mali going for the inside, but backs out again. He knows it's too risky right now. Trying to compromise Gamma B, making wrong decisions, forcing him into a mistake, but Gamma B keeps his composure, not giving any damn about that tricks. Going back to the McLarens. Rickety is now behind Rocco.
Mali attacks on
Mali attacks again. Backing out. He remembers his mistake. Overtaking here is not good. There's still a DS track coming up. And he doesn't.
Gamma B probably playing that strategically, making sure he has the DRS because he was behind on the DRS activation.
And he
but
comes
he's
into the
going
pits.
diving into the pits. As Hivodar has a great chance of overtaking, I believe. DRS wide open.
And
I'll
JTK
be-
also in the pits, as well as Catastrophias stacking. Interesting.
Incredible. And JTK is getting his wings switched out, so Catastrophe gets delayed. He has a major delay. Terrible
no.
for his race.
That sounds like a typical Ferrari strategy, if you ask me.
This game is way too realistic now.
Indeed. Interesting. Really interesting.
Very. As
Phoenix gets to jump both Ferraris, it seems. Not both, but
no,
at least
no,
Catastrophe has. He got compromised.
yeah, Phoenix changed tires, I believe, again. He's on the medium compound tire now, which is really strange. I'm surprised we didn't catch that.
As we have the Red Bull going wide of Yellow, sticking with him right now to see the McLaren action as well. As we're coming to the main straight with the Mercedes and Tixi. Isaac completely out of range at the moment.
Yep,
James not
Taylor
going for the move.
Lifting. He's
Mally in the pits now.
Molly in the pits. Interesting strategy choices.
And Thomas
Maybe
D coming to the
mediums
pits. It seems
maybe
like... Yeah, go on.
Maybe those mediums are just dying way too early into the race. Because they should be continuing and pitting during lap about 15-16 area.
Except you do a medium hard run, then it's just about time. As we are checking James's tires at the moment.
As Gamma gets the jump on Molly, they're really close, I believe. They're almost they were side by side, but now Molly's right behind Gamma. The undercut has worked, even though I believe he was ahead. I'm not sure.
And JTK is now behind Phoenix.
That's surprising. JTK lost out a lot on pace, just in general.
As we have the McLarens really close to each other. And they are on different... I believe they're on different strategies. Indeed, Rickety is on the hards at the moment.
Yeah, Rickety just let Rocco pass. And we have a crash, I believe. Isaac,
that's the Aston Martin.
I believe, spun. Isaac
he
spun.
lost the
Does he
rear.
have damage? Does he have
He
damage?
is going into the pits.
Going to the pits. Will he get a wing change? Let's find out.
Let's find out, indeed. His tires are still no pit stop for him, as his reserve teammate. No front wing. But he's on the softs. He is going for the medium soft run.
He's going medium soft, which is surprising, but he drops down behind Molly.
He can make that up in the first part of his stint, but the second part will be hell with those old tires, as there is a free car thing coming in and he is in front of them.
Yep.
Really having a big fight at the moment with Thomas, JTK and Phoenix.
Yeah, so far this race it has been Tixi, James Taylor, or James Taylor and Tixi. It's just been extremely close between those two, and Persegili falling right behind them the whole time.
He wants to have clean air, at least as clean as possible without compromising because of dirty air.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end we saw some brilliant battles between the top three.
We gotta watch out for them until the end, because I believe they're doing an overcut for the softs at the end. But one of the Mercedes needs to do something, as Rickety overtakes his teammate the most tactical way possible.
Yeah, strategy is really important if you're that close together, just for everyone in general. So far for top 7, they need to perfect their strategies, and if they don't, it will be very dangerous for them. They will lose positions and probably drop back.
As we also have a fight for P10, Phoenix going slightly wide into turn 1.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Isaac is not pulling away from Phoenix, and the cars behind him, which is really surprising because
even though the tires like the mediums of Phoenix are 7 laps out, but is Isaac saving those tires for the end? As Gamma B gets a penalty, that's huge.
Yeah,
Isaac
for
only-
sure. Maybe.
As Tixie's in the pits,
Yeah. Tixie's in the
Tixie.
pits. That's
maybe.
surprising. Will he go to hards or softs?
No, he's going for the
could-
softs. I will tell you that much.
Good. Yeah, he can pull the softs off, and he's going for a massive undercut. But he needs to push hard, and he needs to save a lot at the end to gain ground.
He needs to push
Rocco
now,
Mercedes.
and once the Mercedes are coming in, they cannot go in at the same time. They are way too close to each other.
Yeah, and Rocco also boxed. We didn't catch that, I believe.
I didn't catch that, but he's on the
Gamma-
mediums. Is it
Yeah,
the
and
right
Gamma
move?
just overtook Mali again. What's happening in this race?
Way too much to completely understand everything. As we
Yeah.
have the Red Bull Racing 3 with the number 3. Sorry. Joda behind Rickety, and Rickety is actually pulling away at the moment. Rickety
Joda's
P3,
tires.
but he still needs to go into the pits.
Yeah, Jivadar tires might be a bit worse than Rickety's, as because Jivadar has been in dirty air the whole race.
And
one of
we
them
have
needs to
James in the pits. Does Rickety get the jump on him? It's only 11 seconds, so yes. But he also comes in. Perfect timing, maybe.
Yeah, Jivadar is also
He is looking for a podium. Jivada is in as well. What about Tixie? Well, he...
Yeah, okay, James Taylor. Tixie could jump James Taylor here, and
He
he has.
is.
The undercut has worked brilliantly, pulling off a very
And
big
Percy
gap.
Geely will be compromised as well now. As Marley goes up to P4 because of people pitting now.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Rocco now in front of his teammate. Talking about his teammate, right behind him. The McLaren strategy team is working like a charm at the moment.
Yeah, 6th and 7th right now. They could be on track to get a top 5 finish if things go messy between Mali and Gamma. Or even a podium if things go really messy. But I doubt they will.
Anything can still
It's-
happen, mate.
Yeah,
Going a bit
for sure.
further back the order, we still have to fight for P10 and 9. We have Phoenix wanting to overtake Jivada, who is on fresh mediums now. JTK on older tires, I believe. Yes, 5 left already. And Thomas getting a penalty.
Yeah, penalties are really crucial here. You have to limit the amount of penalties you get, because this is not a track.
While
get
we are
penalties.
at it, Gamma B looking for the inside of Manly. Both on the hearts.
Yeah, as Percy Geely is also boxing, and Tixie is pulling out a lot. The
So where does
undercut
Percy
has worked
Geely end up?
beautifully.
P3. And Gamma B going for the move on Marley at the moment. Being right in front of him for turn 1. Clean and easy with the DRS. But Marley is not just done at the moment. As we have
Marley
a
is
lot
coming
of
back.
people behind the McLaren still. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's coming back.
Mali is going down the inside, and he completes the move as Gamma just backs out slightly. But I can say the McLarens are forming kind of a train, which I expect the Ferrari of Catastrophe and Lars to catch up really soon. But so far, Mali and Gamma need to stop fighting this hard if they want to have any chance of catching up to the top 3. But as
Sorry,
as
one
I said
second.
before, it's really unlikely.
Tixie is
but
pulling
anything
away.
can happen. No, Tixie is not pulling away that much.
Not that much, but he is. As
Yeah.
James Taylor gets the fastest lap, so heck me. As we have
the
his
start of the
teammate
lap-
overtaking.
At the start of the lap, Tixie was about 2.1 ahead, so I highly doubt he's
Oh,
gaining.
really? As we have something
Yeah.
going on in P. As we
Yeah,
have. Isaac is coming in again.
Isaac is coming in. What has happened to his race? It's a disaster for him. Could he be
He
changing
said-
his wing? No, he's not. He's changing onto the medium.
He
This
said
is a
no.
disaster for him.
He said no, those tires won't make it.
Yeah, only a safety car can fix this race for him, and
Even
it's
then.
a shame right now.
Even then. Anyways, coming back to Mali, who is right on the gearbox of Gamma B. He doesn't need to risk anything. Gamma B has a 3-second time penalty. Of course,
Yeah,
it
but-
can be removed, but it was because of track limits, and those are the least likely things to get removed. As he is
For
looking
sure.
for the inside, but not
But
going
if
for the
I was-
move.
If I was Mali, I would Mali and Gamma, and let's say Gamma was a friend of mine, I would try to exchange DRS so we could pull away from the McLarens, because the McLarens
Are
seem
catching.
like they're a very big threat. They're catching faster and faster.
Perseguili.
Perseguili says at 20.3. That's
Hold on a
almost
second.
Hold
He's
on,
going for the
fine.
move.
Uh-oh! Gamma goes wide. Gamma lost the rear, I believe. Mali's up to P4.
Sorry, mate. I'm
Guys,
just looking
Achilles.
at the front. I
Perseguili's
that.
in P1. What is happening in this race? So much action.
It only happens at the same time every time. So we just really gotta look what's the most important fight. But everything is important. The most important is still the P1 to 3 because they're all on the same page, on the same pace.
Yeah, it's really tight between them.
And guess
You barely
what?
have a second between them.
Guess what
Yeah.
now? Mali is slightly pulling away while the McLarens are closing into Gamma B.
I believe Gamma B, I'm not really sure, but he might have a bit of wing damage. Because I feel like I saw a bit of his wing chipped off, but I might be wrong here.
I sadly gotta stay with the top 3 at the moment because James might be going for a move soon.
Goodness.
And
this-
once that happens, it's over for Tixie. If
Yeah.
those two
this-
are like a dream team, just like the McLarens, it's over for Tixie if once
But now
both...
Tixie's making a move.
He is?
But here comes James Taylor. He
He
wants
is-
to go
he's
down
in
the
the
inside.
he's on the
gonna
inside.
go.
He,
But he locks up, tries to avoid the Haas. But he goes up to
went
P2.
safe. He went safe and Tixie got his P1 back. But
Yeah?
holy moly, those guys are fighting hard.
But here comes James Taylor around the outside. Can he make it? But Tixie really dangerously
A bit of
almost
touching.
pushes him off. Yeah, I believe he pushed him off, which might orient either a black and white flag, just a simple warning, or even a penalty, because that
Hold
cannot
on.
happen consistently.
I gotta check back to the P4 battle, since Rocco is really close to Gamma B now, and he wants that place. And not only him, Rickety is just waiting. He wants to get it, he's just waiting for a mistake. Preferably from Gamma B, but he's going for the move on Gamma B! What a move into the
Gamma B
chicane!
loses 2 positions in
Team
one
Red Bull going
chicane
nuts!
and one escort.
Absolutely wonderful move from Rocco and Rickety together. And Gamma B does have ERS.
Gamma B's coming. He's gonna dive down the inside, but he's not gonna make the move stick.
And
The
James is back in
McLaren
front, but I
is
cannot
looking
look at it because
amazing.
that's too exciting at the moment. As Rickety also have DRS, but Gamma B doesn't have ERS any left over. He's just looking, and that's it. Both McLarens got him. Marley's next. Marley's the next one to get cleared.
The McLarens are.
As Rocco
a
is
lot of
looking
pace.
already. Rocco is already looking, not using anything. But quicker. He's still quicker than the Red Bull. Not going yet. And
For sure, I believe the Red Bull has a bit of a high downforce setup compared to the others.
indeed,
Most likely, Rocco does have a low downforce setup, which I don't blame. The
shortly
low
back to the
downforce
front,
are amazing.
since we are coming back to the main DRS rate. And you know what that means. Anything.
Anything can happen, which means
And Rocco goes for a move. Does Rickety go as well? Rickety goes for a move as
Rickety
well.
also goes for a move.
This
Incredible
team,
work from the both of the McLarens.
this
Incredible
team is
teamwork.
holy. Okay, back to the front we go, because now the exciting part continues. Persegili is quite a bit further back, and
Here comes Tixie though,
he doesn't go for the
but
move.
he just doesn't go for the move.
He
He's a
doesn't.
bit too
He
far
doesn't
back.
have. He's waiting. He's waiting for later. Just keeping it safe. Going back to Mali.
Yeah,
He
I
has
can't-
dropped from the McLarens
The McLaren
as he comes in really
close.
close on the braking, but not enough to do anything.
I can confirm Persegili is a really dangerous threat to Tixie and potentially James Taylor, because
James-
he almost has full ERS as
He
but
has
Tixie only has
saving.
50 and James has 38, which is it's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be really tight, and it's gonna be really entertaining these last few
Into
laps.
the chicane. It's only for. Oh, the whole race was already exciting. And the last lap, you know it. The last lap is always the most aggressive thing.
Yeah, most aggressive, most entertaining as a spectator, and most dangerous for sure as a driver.
Indeed. Okay, so back to the main straight. Back to the first DRS zone. Who will win that drag race?
Will Tixie go for a move? Will
Tixie
he
is
go-
looking, but he
tries to
doesn't go. And Persegili uses that chance to close up even more. Okay, going back. Mali. Mali is just too far. Mali is too far. Rickety and Rocco are doing a swap again.
Which I don't blame,
And-
but we do have a yellow
Whoa.
flag for Isaac. A disastrous race for him. Unlucky, he has spun once again.
My
Very
man
unlucky.
is really uncomfortable with the 20% tire degradation. Starting from 20% is dropping and dropping. So,
Yeah.
back to the front we go. We're really gotta
Dude,
keep
dude.
eyes on P4, 5, 6, everything from P1 to P6. And
Yeah,
he retired
Isaac
into the pits.
retires
Retires
in the
into
pit.
the pits. He said,
I don't blame
nah
him.
man,
Disastrous race.
yeah, he said, nah man, I don't see any chances. I'm too far away from the points. Goodbye. As we
Good
have
visit for
Persegili
something.
really looking on the inside on Tixie. He wants to go for it.
But Tixie.
There's a spin. There's a spin from the Alpine, I believe, in Sector 2. But,
That is a Williams actually.
oh my
I'm
bad.
not sure of who. Is the Williams of Thomas D. But
As-
Tixie wants to go for a move here. And
Per-
we have a back marker. The back marker of Lars. Believe he has been disconnected.
No, when you have blue flags, you're getting ghosted.
Oh, actually, no, my mistake. That was Isaac.
Oh,
Isaac AI.
oh, he said I came back out. Oh my god.
Yeah. Doesn't cause any chaos though, which is great.
Yeah.
But Tixie is playing the long game, but Persegili is 100% strategically playing this out.
He
wants
is
to make
waiting.
sure-
He is getting closer and closer. He wants to put Tixie under even more pressure to not being able
Yeah.
to attack, to defend. And that's when James will probably go away from the DRS. Like, Tixie cannot do any moves. James is really defending. And look at that, how close the Mercedes is now to the Haas.
Goodness.
He is going on the outside.
Really wants to push, but
He wants to keep the
Tixie should
DRS.
back
He
out.
wants to get both want the DRS. It's so
And
close.
The
And
Mercedes goes wide, and Tixie just goes right on through.
who has DRS
Tixie
now?
says- Both of them have DRS, I believe.
No, it's... Oh yeah, my bad. And is
But
Persegili
James
going for the
Taylor,
move?
here comes Persegili. James Taylor gets overtaken around the outside on Tixie. That might be a bad move because last lap shenanigans can happen. James Taylor and Persegili can both overtake the house of Tixies. This is gonna come down to the final meter of this race.
You wanna know what just happened? James was trying to hold up Tixie that Persegili can overtake, but it was too early. Persegili wasn't next to Tixie at that point. So that completely backfired for Mercedes.
Still, they have the best opportunity they can get to win this race if they just keep calm and push real hard. Because let me remind you, Persigili is on 8 lap old soft.
Marley had a moment, and that gives McLaren the perfect chance. Crucial 3-second time penalty. That's it for Tixi.
That's it for Tixi. He is gonna finish P3, net P3, and he has no
Mercedes
point in
has.
defending even.
Mercedes doesn't have to do anything. Just keep it in the lines. It's crucial.
Well, Persigili has to
And
overtake now.
he gets overtaken by
championship.
both of them. And they give each other slipstream. What
But
team
Persigili
play we are seeing?
Oh, and they make contact. Oh, it's 3 wide and it's chaos. It's chaos.
Wait, the
The
McLarens.
Haas might go through. The McLarens are in the back trying to catch up. Persigili, I believe, doesn't have a front wing. James Taylor doesn't even have damage. Incredible scenes at Monza here.
Teammate contact
Persigili.
resulting in Tixi to lose their wing. Oh, actually, does he? No, he has still a complete wing, but
Tixi doesn't have
but
damage.
Persigili doesn't.
Persigili went for a move. James Taylor did not expect it, turned in and got hit. But Tixi is overtaking Persigili. Disaster for Persigili.
But
The
it's
penalty
not
might
over.
just.
It's not over. Exactly. The penalty might just. We just have.
For a
We
move. It
just.
would be such a shame. It would be
No.
such disappointment.
Tixi's
for
penalty
Persigili.
won't be removed because it happened a bit earlier. It's just about keeping it in the 3 seconds for Persigili right now. He's using his ERS to the absolute maximum. It's still the last lap. We are around the
And
final
James
corner.
Taylor,
James Taylor wins the Italian GP. Behind him, Tixi and Persigili gets P3. As we have both McLarens coming in now, P4 and P6. Amazing stuff.
but
from-
Rocco has penalties, so Marley gets P5, P7
But
for Hibodar,
amazing.
Gamma P8.
McLaren didn't look good at the start, having even a spin, the crash, and they recovered to the top 5. Mercedes, holy, absolute team play as well. Tixi not being able to do anything there. He was just in the back seat. No, Tixi was just in the back seat.
I felt like he wasn't even driving at some points. Amazing race from both Mercedes. I will not be surprised if they win the constructors, and I will not be surprised if McLaren get a really good result in the constructors.
As we have Rocco as the game's driver of the day.
Which was
What an
well deserved,
amazing race. So much action, I cannot even keep up. Not even us two together. You were at one point, I was at one point, and they were still going on. It's insane. As James gets the P1 trophy. And
Amazing
Mercedes being really glad that crash on the last lap didn't completely killed them. Oh my lord. But that will be a lot of reports, I believe. There we have the final provisional standings. James winning, Persigili and Tixi finishing up the podium. Rickety P4 after last week's P3. Amazing drop from him, starting from P7. Marley dropping down to P5, unable to overtake the McLaren duo. Rocco starting from P16, coming up really good.
That is really crazy.
Continuing, we have Gilvadar, Gamma B, JTK, and Catastrophias. Behind them, we have Reserve Driver Lars, Reserve Driver Thomas, Phoenix, and Isaac, Roy, Casito retiring. My good lord. We gotta get the McLaren pair, we gotta get the Mercedes pair, and we gotta get Tixi into it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let
we
me
also
just
got to get We also got to get to who finished P6. I forgot. No, P5 between the McLarens.
Mali.
Yeah, we have to also get Molly. He was amazing, overtaking left and right. My goodness, that was an amazing race.
My lord, that was just another level of incredible. I am
100%.
seriously astonished by that racing. So, it's time. Okay, we have Rocco and Rickety. Let me just get them into here. Hello, Rickety.
Rickety.
And hello,
Rocco.
Rocco. My lord,
Masterclass.
you two, you guys as a team did the absolute most nuts thing I have seen as a commentator in PowerF1. Just in 2 laps, actually 3 I believe it was, in 3 laps you both overtook 2 drivers in the same place into a chicane. Absolutely mad.
Yeah.
How
DRS.
in yeah, the DRS
Amazing.
was a thing, but just talk us through all that. And Rocco, you get an extra thing later on.
Well, Rocco, you want to start or?
You can start. I kind of just followed you through the whole time.
Right. No. Like as soon as we realized we were in the same position on track and battling for similar positions, I think that we, even though we didn't say it in VC, we sort of agreed that we needed to work together to catch up to the pack ahead. And of course, for us, it was just a slipstream fest, giving each other slipstream and trying to catch up bit by bit. And yeah, double overtakes needed to happen. Otherwise, if we had a car between us, it would have been way difficult to actually keep the position, because that means that the car ahead can fight to overtake Rock or me, for example. So yeah, double overtakes needed to happen so we could protect each other.
And with that, you did that one thing better than Mercedes did. Because those two were also having the fight with Tixi. They also had the absolute wonderful team play. But on the last lap, they crashed into each other.
Yeah, what was his name? The second Persegili went down the inside, and James Taylor just turned in, causing them to go 3 wide into turn 2, and then they were just piled up into the gravel trap, and somehow they made it out. But Persegili didn't have a front wing.
Anyways, back to you two. Rickety, amazing coming from P7 up to P4 after so many races of bad luck and last week's podium even. Wonderful.
2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks?
Yeah, Portimao was 2 weeks. Silverstone was last week.
Oh,
That I
god damn
missed.
it. Your last race then.
Rocco also.
Now coming to
Amazing
Rocco,
job
starting
from him.
from P16, getting into a crash on the last corner and recovering with a penalty to a P6, crossing the line on P5. My lord, what a performance!
Yeah, I was P16 because I crashed on Inters in qualifying. And then at the start, I had a little bit of damage because I hit the back of, I think it was Lars or someone. And then I was catching up to Jibadar, and then I had to cut the whole corner to avoid him because he broke so early. That's why I had the 3-second penalty.
So you might
that,
be
I
able
just
to get that
filed the safety
removed.
No, because I was too far ahead to give the position back.
I see.
I'll keep the 3 seconds.
Alright, I have a question for both of you, Rickety and Rocco. Who deserves driver of the day between you two?
Rocco.
Yeah, me. I am ill, man. Give me it, please.
Well,
Rocco's the
I
first team
agree.
driver, easily.
I agree because Rocco did an amazing job. Rickety, I'm not saying you didn't even do an amazing job. You did an incredible job.
Both
Together,
of you.
guys were
Absolute
amazing.
wonderful team play as well.
I'll sort of forced Rocco into that first team role. I mean, first driver role. I've already won championship, so playing a supportive driver finally. So yeah, we could try to get Rock as high up as possible. Of course, I think Percy, Tixie, and James is a bit out of our reach. I think James is more within our reach because he's a bit more inconsistent. But yeah, no. If we could get Rock into the top 3, that'd be very good. Easily.
And with that, thank you for joining in. It's time to get that duo of Mercedes in here. Have a good evening, enjoy the points, and see you next
Thank
week.
you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
David.
So, let's get James and Persegili in here. So, James, welcome on in.
Oh.
Let's get your
James,
teammate in here.
welcome.
Hello, Persegili.
Hello.
Congratulations, first of all, to P1 and 2 after that. I don't know how to describe it after your last lap crash.
Yeah,
But-
it was brilliant racing from
Brilliant.
us.
Great team play from you two, but I have one question that I've already asked the McLaren duo. Who do you think did a better job between both? Like this question to both of you. Who do you think was driver of the day between you two?
Well, I can't. I personally started P4, which and got a good start and sent it, which is pretty good. And then the whole race, we basically swapped positions with P1, trying not to lose time to P4, the Aston Martin, who did a pretty good job as well.
So you're saying Persegili, right?
I say that, yeah.
I'm saying James.
All right.
Well, you cannot argue, guys, you cannot argue that both of you, as a team, did an amazing job to keep Tixie between you and also behind you at the end, apart from the crash. And what a team play that was. And just enjoy the champagne, the points, and
Yeah.
every kind of experience you got from that.
Yeah, thanks. We are gonna get drunk.
Sounds good.
Exactly, yeah.
Well then, with that, have a good evening and see you next week.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, see you. Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
So is my boy Marley in here?
Wait. You disconnected me. Yeah. Molly, I don't know. You didn't tell him to join.
Yeah. But
Tixie.
Tixie, I'm legally blind.
Is he in VC?
I am looking, and sadly, he is not.
Well, is there anybody that we can interview?
We focus on keeping only the top 3 and astonishing drivers for the interviews. So,
Yep.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in on tonight's race. I wish all of you a good evening. Enjoy food, drinks,
Yeah, all of that.
and see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Done? Oh, no.
See.